Are you craving some awesome snacks this season? Something that's sweet, salty, spicy, and herby, nutty, and goodness? Well, today on Sonya's Sweet and Spicy Kitchen, I have the most fabulous Chex mix that you will ever make. This has got herbs, it's got nuts, it's got flavors that you may have not tried before, and of course, it's got Sonya Sweet and Spicy. This is going to tie in everything to make this Chex mix the most popular dish in your snacking endeavors this season. So let's get started. Hey everybody, Sonya Paz with Sonya's Sweet and Spicy Kitchen. And I'm so glad that you're here today because I have an amazing snack recipe that is sure to be the hit at your next gathering. Whether it's a ladies' night out or you're just cozying on in, watching some movies in this crazy cold weather, we've got a lot going on with this recipe that you can make a large batch ahead of time, and it'll be sure to really impress everyone, and they'll keep gobbling up, and you'll find yourself making more and more of this. Now, first of all, huge thank you to everyone who has not only placed your online order, but has picked up Sonya Sweet and Spicy as a retail product, or have seen me at a local farmer's market or a local pop-up store or a marketplace where I've been selling my sweet and spicy jalapenos, and you've all been amazing. I love all the comments. I love folks who have come to see me that have already tried the recipes and are so excited to hear more. So, thank you so much. And I'm going to show you the top 5 best easy recipes that have been I get the most comments on. And starting on number 1, we've got the spicy tuna. So if you love tuna, chop this up, slice it, dice it, put it in your tuna salad, your chicken salad, all around the same type of thing. Add your mayonnaise, add your chopped up Sonya Sweet and Spicy in there. It will really be a game changer on your tuna recipe. Now, one of our most popular recipes, and the one that I always demo when I'm doing my demos, is the cream cheese, the block of cream cheese with the chopped up Sonya Sweet and Spicy candied pickle jalapenos right on top. Turn that up, put it out there, put it on a beautiful plate or platter, serve with crackers, and it is the thing that is going to end up being the most consumed item at your little gathering. So that is our other recipe that is so popular. Poor man's Brie. This is an actually awesome recipe that you can do that is super easy to do, and the recipe is also right here, and that's something that is really great for the winter holidays because it's creamy, it's toasted, it's baked, and it's awesome. And of course, my bruschetta. That is something that I always take to a party or a gathering. It is something that is super easy to do. There's some tips and techniques on my recipe, so make sure you check that out because it is something that is great any time of the year. As long as you have ripe tomatoes, you've got Sonya's Sweet and Spicy Bruschetta, which is to die for. And of course, last but not least, my spiced herb nuts. If you have not yet seen my video, which I'm going to put right here, my video on the spiced herb nuts, I'm going to tell you right now, you're missing out. Watch this video first and then check that one out and bookmark them. I love to hear your comments. I really get excited when everyone has made a comment or sends me a note, but I'd love it if you can put it right down here in the comments on YouTube because that helps my YouTube cred and gets me placed in better spots here on the YouTube channel. Now, there, top 5 super easy recipes. Cream cheese appetizer. You got poor man's Brie, you've got a bruschetta, you've got spiced herb nuts, and of course the spicy tuna. Okay, so let's get moving on this. What I've got here today is a Chex mix that is more, it's gonna be savory, but it's not gonna be overly salty. In fact, I'm not adding any salt in this. You can add salt, so I don't want to tell you you can't, but this is going to be something that is going to be more herb related. It's going to have some spice in there. It's going to really kind of marry in all of the flavors. Now, I am using salted butter, so there is a little bit of salt there, but that is to taste. So I just want to disclaim that up front. And of course, on the spicy nut mix, you don't have to add peanuts when you do that. I do, because We aren't a nut-free family, but we are kind of a little low-sodium family here. So what I have here, of course, is I got the 3 Chex mixes. I got the wheat Chex, the rice Chex, and the corn Chex. I've got garlic powder, and I also have garlic pepper, which I'm gonna put in here. We're gonna mix that up soon. I have my cayenne powder here. I have smoked paprika. If your market doesn't carry smoked paprika, then of course you can just use regular paprika, that is fine. And I have ground up and chopped up some rosemary. You can use fresh rosemary on this. I like to use it where it's a little drier, and I've been able to grind that up so it's more powdery. If you'd like to use ground rosemary, by all means you can do that as well. I've got my spicy herb nuts. I have, of course, my Sonya Sweet and Spicy. I have some pretzels and my butter, and yeah. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna measure out 3 cups each of all of my Chex Mix. And I wanna tell you, first of all, I usually eyeball this. I don't usually measure everything, but I know there's a lot of folks who like to have explicit directions, so I'm going to go ahead and measure out the 3 cups each of the Chex Mix, and then we're gonna mix in the dry ingredients into the butter, whisk that in, and let's show you how we do this. Alrighty, so what we got going on here is I have my melted butter, and I'm gonna go ahead and add the Sonya Sweet and Spice right on in there. And I'm gonna just put that in, and I'm going to whisk that in just a little bit. And then of course I'm gonna add in my garlic pepper and my onion powder. Put that in, whisk that right on in there. I'm gonna take my cayenne pepper, I'm gonna put that in there as well. And not last but not least, here we go. We're gonna add the paprika. And don't worry about the color on this, because this is just gonna add a nice toasty color to our Chex Mix. And we're not gonna add the nuts in either right now. I got my rosemary. So here, we're gonna just whisk that right on in. And I'm gonna set this aside. And of course, right this moment, I'm gonna turn on my oven to 275 degrees Fahrenheit. And we're gonna start adding in all of my Chex Mix. So I got my corn Chex, I got my rice Chex, and I have my wheat Chex. Now, that is only 1 cup of each. I'm gonna add an additional 2 cups each of the different Chex Mix. So, because I know a lot of people like to know exactly the directions, I'm gonna go ahead and just measure this out. Put that there. And I'm gonna talk to you while I do this. We've got our corn, or our rice Chex here. That's a little more, whatever, that's fine. And my favorite is the corn. I love the corn Chex. In fact, this is what I like to have in my cereal. So good. So there. So we have a total of 3 cups of the wheat, the rice, and the corn. Just toss that up. And of course, we're gonna add in pretzels. Now, you don't have to use this kind of pretzel. I got these because they're called butter snaps. It's kind of buttery. I'm gonna add that much more. I don't usually add the equal amount. I usually put in maybe 1 or 2 cups of the pretzels. So you can also add mini breadsticks to this. You can add whatever you like, little rye crisps. You can use small Triscuits or whatever. It's all fine. But I like to keep it kind of basic because I'm gonna be adding these nuts in after we have baked this. So what I'm gonna do, everyone, is I'm gonna show you, you've got this mix, and we're gonna add in the melted butter with all the herbs and everything in here. And then we're gonna put this on a big baking sheet, and we're gonna cook it for about 45 minutes at 275 degrees. And then we're gonna go in and we're gonna toss it over, and then we're gonna put it in the oven for a little bit longer. But what needs to happen is you can add the butter on here, but it needs to bake in. So when you put that in the oven at the smaller temperature, 275, it's going to slowly toast it up. It's not going to overtake it, and you don't want to go at a higher temperature because it's just going to end up burning it because there's a lot of butter in here. And you want to use real butter. So if you see, I've got real butter, not margarine. That just is not butter, and it's not going to have that same flavor. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and slowly pour this over. And as I do this, I'm going to put in a little bit at first. And I'm just going to toss it. And when you toss it like this, it's going to slowly start coating each piece of this mix. Now, I can smell right here, I can smell the rosemary and the paprika. I've got the Sonya Sweet and Spicy Jalapeno smell in here. It's all awesome. As you can see, they're starting to get really coated. So I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of this in here. All right, so I start in from the bottom. I don't want to mix this really hard with my big spoon because I don't want to break up all the pretzels and I don't want to break up. So I usually just toss it and I'm just keep tossing it, spinning my bowl. I want this to be nice and savory, but not overkill on the salt and everything. And you know, if you were to make this a dessert mix, you can always add candy to it, like M&Ms or chocolate chips or yogurt balls or yogurt raisins or whatever. So, all right, now this smells awesome. All righty, now, as you see, I got my parchment. I'm not going to put any sort of spray on here because with parchment paper, you don't really need to spray it. And I'm just going to go ahead and lay that all out just like this. Get everything out of the bowl. Put that over there. And I'm just going to start putting this, oops, got some that fell out. They're trying to escape. And just go ahead and I can use my fingers on this too. And we're just going to make sure it's even. We want to get it as even as possible, just so that you have a nice distribution of how this is going to get baked and, you know, the flavors are going to start cooking in there. So, okay. So there we go. We're going to just pop it in and we're going to check it in 45 minutes and we're going to toss them and put it in for about another 10 to 15 minutes. Alrighty, so I took the Chex mix out of the oven and I'm just going to start tossing this. Ooh, it's hot, it's hot, it's hot. But I'm going to take all of everything that was underneath and put it on top and just stir it all up and grab all those. Got more escapees out here trying to jump the ship. All right, so, okay, so now that I got, you can see all the flavors and this smells, the jalapenos and the rosemary and everything on here is just spectacular. So I'm going to put this in for another 10 minutes. I'm going to lower it to 250 degrees and get that going on and we'll be back. All right, so we are back and you should smell my kitchen. It smells absolutely wonderful in here. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna just give one last toss here to the Chex mix. It smells like rosemary in here. It smells spicy. It's got a nice nutty flavor and it's truly fabulous. Now I've gone ahead and put in a couple sprigs of my rosemary because I have a rosemary bush out in the front of my house and I always have fresh rosemary. Now I'm going to even this out here. I'm going to add all of my nuts here and you can get this nut recipe. It's right here on YouTube and you can go ahead and add that to this. I don't do the nuts as part of this roasting process because that is going to be different temperature times and I am very, very particular about the nut recipe that I use, that I make, that I've created for you, that I want to have that at a higher temperature. If I was to do all this together, the way that I like the nuts roasted is a little more toastier, and of course you don't want your Chex mix and your pretzels and whatever crackers and breadsticks and what have you to get completely too toasted. So I do those separately. So I go ahead and I add that in and I'm just going to go ahead and serve some up on a plate. Now if this is going to be for the family, you're going to give each person their own individual bowl, or put this in a big giant bowl so that you can serve this up, you know, people can grab by the handfuls and all that. So I'm just going to throw this in here. Okay, I'm piling this on and I'm going to get some of my nuts on there as well. So there you got it. Is that awesome? So here you have it, and we're going to do the ultimate taste test. Grab a couple of this, a couple of nuts here, pop those in. Fantastic. This is amazing. Now, I know that I had told you, happy food dance. I had told you that I don't add a lot of salt. The only salt that I'm adding to this is what's in the butter already. You've got all the seasonings in there, and you've got the salt from the butter. You have all of your seasonings, your paprika, your Sonya Sweet and Spicy, your cayenne pepper. You could sprinkle a little bit of salt on this. It's amazing just like this. You don't need a whole lot of extra salty, and that is why I like this recipe, is because when I go to the store and you buy the kind in the box or any of the pub mixes, they're loaded with so much salt and other chemicals and things. My Sonya Sweet and Spicy has absolutely no preservatives, none whatsoever. It's all goodness. It's vegetarian, it's low sodium or no sodium, sodium free, it's soy free, it's dairy free, but do not let all of those free things deter you on the amazing flavor. It's sweet, it's spicy, you're gonna have an amazing nuttiness about it, and it's just all good snacking. So I think we're gonna end up watching, is it Love Actually, Sleepless in Seattle, or You've Got Mail? I don't know. What do you think we should be watching tonight? We're gonna couch it out, lay down, chill out, snuggle. It's cold outside, got the fireplace going on, and we're gonna snack up a storm. So don't forget, here at Sonya Sweet and Spicy, we are chopping and slicing, dicing and cooking, roasting and toasting. Check us out here on Facebook, facebook.com/Sonya Sweet Spicy. Check us out on Instagram, instagram.com/Sonya Sweet Spicy. And of course, you can buy our 8-ounce or our 16-ounce Sonya Sweet Spicy sweet candy pepper jalapenos on our website at sonyasweetspicy.com. That is it for today. We will see you next week with another fantastic recipe for your holiday season or winter season or whatever, and we will catch you on the flip side. So, herb it up here, got it going on. What do you think? Peace out, y'all. Take care. Bye. So once these are completely cooled, you can go ahead and put them in a Ziploc bag, and it'll be good for at least a couple weeks. I don't think it's gonna last a couple weeks because you're gonna find yourself so drawn to this, you're gonna be snacking on it. Or just put it in a bowl with a lid and you should be good. Enjoy.